Welcome to Court Helicopter Explainer. The whole of this week, the question has been instant fines by NTSA. But the question that is there, do you know what are traffic offences? Do you know there are more than 30 offences that are punishable by law? Wakili Dalson Omari and Court Helicopter brings you what are the offences of traffic. We have what is called the Traffic Minor Offences Rules, Legal Notice number 161 of 2016, which came into effect on 30th September 2016. These laws have been there from 2016 and they were reviewed last on 31st December 2022. So do you know them? Here they go. 1. Driving without identification plates affixed or plates not fixed in a prescribed manner. The car you're driving, if the number plate is not fixed or is not fixed properly, upside down, it is hanging 10,000 shillings. Number 2, driving a vehicle without a valid inspection certificate. A valid inspection certificate. Any trailer, any bus, any public service vehicle, any transport vehicle other than personal cars must be inspected as prescribed. Failure to that, 10,000 shillings. Driving without a valid driving license. A valid driving license without the class. If you check your driving license, there is class A, B, C, D, E, F. If you are driving a car without the stamp that you have been allowed to drive that car, you will go in and you'll pay a fine of 3,000 shillings. Failure to renew your driving license. Have you renewed your driving license? 1,000 shillings. Driving a public service vehicle when you are not qualified to drive. Remember, you must have class BCE to drive a public service vehicle. A car, if you are a driver of a car, you cannot be allowed to drive a public service vehicle. If you drive one, then you get a fine of 3,000 shillings. Then 5,000 shillings. Failing to carry and produce a driving license on the demand. Has the police stopped you and told you, show us your driving license? You have forgotten it at home, you will get a fine of 1,000 shillings. So every time, carry your driving license. Exceeding speed limit prescribed. This is the speed limit. If you exceed a speed limit by 1 to 5 kilometers, for example, the speed limit is 80 kilometers per hour. You drive at 81 or you drive at 82 kilometers per hour, a range of between 1 to 5 kilometers, you'll get a warning. So don't bribe police officers, traffic police officers, because you have overspeeded with 1 kilometer or you'll get a warning. From 6 kilometers to 10 kilometers, a fine is 500 shillings. From 11 kilometers to 15 kilometers per hour, 3,000 shillings. If you do 16 to 20 kilometers per hour, the fine is 10,000 shillings. That is the law. Have you driven through a pavement or a pedestrian walkway? Yes, if you drive through a pedestrian walkway or a pavement, it's 5,000 shillings. Then we have failure of a driver to obey any direction given, whether verbally by a policeman or a marshal, city hall marshal, by signal, so long as that person is in uniform. 3,000 shillings. If you don't follow the instructions of that policewoman, it's 3,000 shillings. Failure of a driver to conform to the indication given by any traffic sign. There are those mounted traffic signs. If you don't, 3,000 shillings. Failure of a driver to stop when required to do so by a police officer in uniform. Has a police officer told you stop? You refuse and drive off, 5,000 shillings. Then we have causing obstruction by leaving your vehicle stationary or driving in a manner that causes obstruction on the road, 10,000 shillings. Then we have failure to display reflective triangles or lifesavers. Your car has broken down on the road. You go getting trees, leaves to put on the road. That is illegal. You get stones, boulders, put there. You are supposed to buy a life triangle or a lifesaver. You put it there. Failure to do that is 3,000 shillings. The driver of a motorcycle, now we are dealing with offences of boda. Boda guys, listen to you. If you are a driver of a motorcycle carrying more than one pylon passenger, if you carry more than one, remember bodas, watu wanapanda watatu, watu wanapanda waine, now you know what it is. 1,000 shillings as a fine. 2, driving a motor vehicle on a footpath, barabara ya miguu, 5,000 shillings. If you are a pedestrian and you willfully obstruct the free passage of vehicles, wewe unatembea na mguu, you block the road, 500 shillings. If you are an unlicensed person driving or acting as a conductor of a PSV, you don't have a PSV badge, you are a matatu tout, you are behaving as a conductor, 5,000 shillings. If you are an owner of the vehicle of a PSV and you employ a driver or a conductor without a PSV, 10,000 shillings. If somebody has paid fare from Kawangware to Nairobi, 20 shillings amelipa. From Kayole to Nairobi, 100 shillings amelipa. From Thika to Nairobi, amelipa. Then gari inapindukia kwa barabara. Have you ever seen that? When the rains fall, unaambiwa tumenyongea hapa. We are now turning here. Jipange. If you do not refund the full fare of that accident, that issue is 3,000 shillings. Touting, shouting. Have you seen how those touts are running all over, holding your bags, dragging you into to get a matatu? Kawangware, Nyamira, Mombasa. All those things, that shouting, that touting is a fine of 3,000 shillings. Then we have a failure of a PSV driver or conductor to wear a special badge and uniform, 2,000 shillings. Motorcycle rider riding without a protective gear. You are a boda guy, you have not worn the gear, protective gear. If you are found without it, 1,000 shillings. Motor vehicle passenger, wewe unaruka kwa boda, haujavaa kofia na hujavaa helmet na hujavaa what the coat that you are supposed, a reflective jacket, you will go and pay a fine of Kenya shillings, 1,000 shillings. Person who, while not being the designated driver of a PSV, drives the vehicle. If you are not the designated driver of the PSV, 3,000. If you are a driver of PSV who lets another person drive, Cyrus is the driver, he allows Vivian to drive his car, both of them will get a fine of 3,000 shillings. Elana, have you bought a car, excited, and you say you don't want to put letter L? Now when Elana, you'll get a fine of Kenya shillings, 1,000 shillings. Then we have failure by owner of the vehicle to have seatbelts in a motor vehicle, 10,000 shillings. If you fail to wear a safety belt, in a public service vehicle, 500 shillings. Failure by the conductor to clean the seats and the belt. Sometimes you get into a matatu, the belts are very dirty, the seats are very dirty. Do you know it is an offense? The tout, the conductor, will be fined 500 shillings. Failure of a vehicle to carry reflective and warning signs behind the lifesavers, 2,000 shillings. Failure to fit prescribed speed governors on the PSV vehicles and commercial vehicles, 10,000 shillings. Driving or operating a PSV with the tinted windows, the manyangas, venganyas are not supposed to have tinted windows. Only private cars can have a tinted window. If you have one, tinted is 3,000 shillings. Failure to carry a fire extinguisher and the fire kits in a PSV vehicle, 2,000 shillings. Driver using a phone while the vehicle is in motion. Who has never made that offense? Have you ever picked a phone while you're driving? If you pick a phone while driving, is a fine of 2,000 shillings if you are found using that. The driver of a motor vehicle or matatu picking or dropping passengers in a place that is not designated as a picking or dropping point, 3,000 shillings. A passenger who alights at a place not designated as a stage. Ushaishuka matatu mahali ambapo si stage, kuna jamu unasema wacha mimi niruke nifungulie hapo, 1,000 shillings. And lastly, traveling with the part of your body outside moving vehicle is 1,000. Have you held matatu imejaa, basi imejaa, unashika and part of your body is hanging, you will be fined 1,000 shillings. Wakili Dan Stenomari from Court Helicopter News, we have brought you now the fines as they are. Keep watching, keep being educated. A community, a country with people who are knowledgeable is a better country to govern. Keep watching every time from Court Helicopter News. Thank you.